Destabilizing Foundations, Bonus Content of Legend, Maeve and Jellen, Part 1. I wonder if Moss is okay. The world of Ae'oene contains stories with mature themes. Content warnings are in the episode description.
Welcome back to the world of Ae'oene, Stories of Legend. For another bonus episode, this one, we're finally getting to get a little insight into the 3-year gap with Maeve and Jellen. Which means I've got Sapheara and Jack here with me. Sapheara and Jack, say hi.
Hello!
Hello, my friends.
Now, one thing I have to warn you listeners about is we have MJ here with us too. MJ, say hi.
MJ,
Hello.
what are you doing here?
I know,
Surprise!
right? Thalira
I'm
is not
shocked.
in this bonus episode. You know, our party has split, but a little bit of insider information for our listeners here. This bonus is going to feature a character that is named Siobhan. You've heard her name previously in some of the episodes. Yari talked about her. Well, fun fact about Siobhan, she comes from our prequel campaign. We ran a mini campaign prior to this campaign that set it up. That was MJ's character from that campaign, and today MJ will be playing that character. So if you recognize that it is MJ behind the voice of Siobhan, it is. It is just not Thalira. So just keep that in mind, and I hope you enjoy the character as much as we all do as well. But on that note, let's get into it. Previously, the party had just split, and during the rainy, foggy morning on the coast of the Gulf of Craol and Evoa, we join Jellen and Maeve as the ship carrying Calden, Thalira, and Lou leaves their sight along the coastline and fades into the fog. Maeve and Jellen know exactly what they must do. They have a game plan. It is time to finally head towards Orlanus on the long trek through the mountain pass of the Albanian mountainside. Very quickly, as you all set off, you have been prepared. Moss is summoned from Maeve as you hear the sickly old sound of Moss's voice.
Maeve, I'm so glad you're here. What can I do for you?
We're going on an adventure, Moss.
I'm so excited. Let's go.
Why?
I'm so glad I could do that voice again. I forgot how to do it. I practiced it earlier today.
God, she really is old as dirt. I think she got creakier. She ages like fine wine.
As Maeve and Jellen mount onto Moss, you all take up the hills and mountains of the Albanian mountainside and begin your hard 2-week trek through these mountainsides. As you try your best to stay on the trail, there are points where it almost becomes impossible. You end up just trekking through the woods, hearing the sounds of cougars and bears in the distance, noises of plant creatures, and maybe possibly even giants, as even at one point you feel the ground shake underneath your feet as the impact of something hits not too far away. But thankfully, as you go into this, you enter the Misty Wood, the legendary forest known for just how bad the visibility is as the fog and mist off of the Gulf roll over the low mountains into this valley of forest. It's mysterious, and it's known for just that. The Misty Wood is a dangerous place. By whether it's pure luck or skill, though, you all manage to make your way through the Misty Wood, and as you are going up the last side of the mountains, knowing Orlanus is over the peak and down into the valley along the other coast of the Ae'oene Peninsula, Jellen, you hear from the Sending Stone that you've basically forgotten about. You hear a muffled voice coming from your satchel.
Retrieve the Sending Stone from my satchel.
Adventurers, Jellen, I believe your name was Jellen. Come in, can you hear me?
Yes, I copy.
We just wanted to check in. It's been quite some time. You all still set to be ready for us to pick you up in the coming days?
It's looking like this job may take a little bit longer than we expected. Thank you for your help thus far, though.
Are you sure? I'm not sure if we will be around to return to get you at any point.
That's all right. We'll find another way back.
There's a pause. And he wishes you farewell as he says, "Well, best of luck to you all on this job. If you run into a deathly situation, want to make sure at least someone can check on you and maybe gather your bodies, just reach out before you pass on. We'll try to do right by you."
Thank you for your confidence, Captain. Good luck to you as well.
May the winds find you well.
Same to you.
As you don't hear back from him again. Your travel, luckily, just a few days later, ends. As you go over the peak of the Albanian mountains, you see the rickety lumber town, smaller than Neveo, noticeably, sitting on the edge of a small inlet from the ocean. And as you enter into town, wondering, what does Siobhan look like? Where can I find her? You've never been to this town. Are the people here going to be nice? Thanks, I wouldn't say quite to the luck, but rather to the impact you all had on Yari Mossgrove back in Neveo. You're greeted by Siobhan, as she had a bit of a heads up to your arrival. As you approach, Maeve and Jellen, you both see a woman at the edge of town waiting for you. Our listeners have never seen Siobhan. MJ, could you describe what Maeve and Jellen, who they're seeing?
Yes, you see a human woman of average height, around 5'5", 5'6", medium build, like very average build, long dark hair, dark brown eyes, wearing simple clothing. She has a belt around her waist that has various vials and things. She carries a bag of holding with her always. And she walks very confidently. She is very smart, and she knows it too. And so she always has that air of confidence around her, very take charge kind of person.
And that is who you see as you both approach Orlanus for the first time.
Welcome to Orlanus. I know you must be tired. Let me show you to the tavern. Walk and talk, I guess. Share a meal, get some rest. Tomorrow's going to be busier, so rest up while you can.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Yes, thank you.
Of course. Yeah. Glad that you're here to help. It's turned into something much bigger than any of us anticipated.
Yes.
How's Thalira doing? Mom told me of what's going on.
They're on their way back now. Hopefully,
well,
it all goes well.
I have the utmost faith that her mother will make a full recovery. Thalira is a very capable woman.
This is true.
As she is.
Well, do you have any questions for me before I talk to you about everything and ask for your help in the morning?
Well, Jellen?
I'm sure I'll have more questions in the morning, but you were on the previous team to find these children, weren't you?
Yes, I was. We found their ritual grounds where the Mistborn were, and yeah, we'll talk more in the morning.
Sounds good.
Okay, then.
After sitting down at the local tavern, getting yourself a meal, resting a bit after your long journey, being extremely tired, you're given a room on the house. In the morning, Siobhan is able to meet you out in front of the tavern once again to ready you for what's to come, be available for questions as well as to ask you questions as the slight drizzle pours from the gray sky.
Well, we should tell you what we know. We've met Professor Oxenberg, who advised us the Mistborns were the reason for the missing children. He said they might have a device for a ritual. Jellen, what was it called again? It started with a Z or something, or there was a Z involved. I'm bad with names.
No, that's all right. I can't quite remember either. So, Siobhan, if you do know this Z device, any information you have would be greatly appreciated.
Do I remember that?
No, it was a mistake in Maeve and Yellen's memory. It's not a device, it was a group.
Ah. I'm not sure what device you would be talking about. That'd be some news to me, but when we witnessed their ritual location, it was surrounded by blighted plants with a raised wooden portion in the middle for sacrificial purposes. Honestly, I don't really know too much more about the ritual itself, but luckily, I have a friend who might. He's one of the Mistborn, actually. He finally rematerialized the other day and came by in the night to check in. But, one thing about the Mistborn that you should know is that they are magical beings at their very core. They're intertwined with the natural magics, and they are also incorporeal, so they're kind of hard to hit, which was an issue for us. But they had been intrinsically connected to the primordial plane and were cast out from the rest of their kind, essentially, and they escaped to the material plane. Unfortunately, because of the nature of their being, the world, when it tried to pull it back, well, the world did try to pull them back home every year, and that's why they performed the ritual. It was so they could stay. And now it seems their connection is broken, and they can move about as they please. And that's why we can't find them.
Maeve just looks at Yellen when she mentions she's friends with one of the Mistborn.
Yeah, Yellen kind of pulls up, gets really stiff. Did you happen to see the ritual by chance?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to witness the ritual itself. Actually, that probably is fortunately for all of us. In the process of saving my daughter, they were attempting to get her back and teleported us to their village. That's where I saw the ritual location. It had dried blood in the cracks where it would flow to the plants around the rim of the circle. It was very large. I, can't seem to get a hold of them, but if Lave and Dahlia were here, they could tell you more about it. They've been attempting to track the Mistborn. My friend and I can show you their village tomorrow, though.
I see. Well, first of all, I'd like to say that very glad you made it out. Is there any important supplies we may need to bring?
Just food, weapons, yourself. Anything that makes you comfortable in the wild. It's, misty and mysterious and, wet. So, anything that keeps you from being soggy.
Pretty soon, after going to the general store, gathering some clothes for this trip that are maybe a bit more useful to this specific weather and climate, Siobhan begins to take you all along the pathway. Pretty similar, frankly, to the way you just came. Before long, you are back into the misty wood, the air, the weight of the air weighing upon you, and almost as if the mysteriousness of the area, and it's almost as if it radiates, and you can feel it in your soul. And after traveling all day, exhausted, you stop to make camp and agree to take shifts for the night. You wake up in the morning and hear whispering out of the mist. Siobhan, is that you?
Yes, I'm here.
And Maeve and Jellen, you look about and you start to see approaching just two glowing orbs about the distance of eyeballs apart.
Okay, we're here.
Maeve instinctively just puts her hand on her weapon.
Hello, and welcome. These orbs grow closer, you can start to see, essentially already surrounded by mist and fog because it's hard to even tell the structure of this being, but you start to see the silhouette of a humanoid, but it lacks that physical nature. And as you look around, having taken camp within their village, their makeshift cabins and homes, you can see the outline of this being more as he passes in front of one of these cabins. My name is James. Siobhan told me all would be coming soon. Please don't be alarmed by my appearance or presence. I promise I'm not like the others of my kind that you've heard about. I've actually been actively working against them for quite some time.
It's true. He tried saving my daughter.
Yellen looks back and forth between Siobhan, Maeve, and this new Mistborn and kind of looks at him and he says, I trust Siobhan wouldn't lead us into danger, but forgive me. Your presence is a bit unnerving.
Maeve will cast a Zone of Truth. While saying that, she says, apologies, I just need to make sure.
No, it's understandable. I won't lie to you all. I am just here to help. I can see you're anxious, and I understand. If you have any questions for me, anything I can do to ease mine, just ask. Like I said, we're all here to come get to the bottom of this together. You all have the same end in mind. You can tell with your magic as he purposefully fails this zone, the Zone of Truth, trying to gain your trust. You can see as you study him a bit more as well, as he's gotten, very close at this point, it's still almost hard to really pick out where the end and edge of his body is, and you can't see a mouth, there's no nose, the only defining features being the two glowing orbs that are his eyes.
For the rituals, well, I know they've already succeeded, but is there a way to find the children's bodies? Even the bones, is there a way they were discarded?
Well, for past years, the ritual was a bit different than this year's. The bodies would be left soulless. I made a trade deal with some giant kin at the peak of the mountain range, almost 1,000 years ago, and ever since, we've been trading through them. The bodies, some would be used for arcane materials, but most traded to the giant kin.
And all the bodies have gone to this giant kin since?
Quite literally every year, yes. As far as this past ritual, being the one that just happened this year's, it was different. It's the one that finally broke their connection, and I have little to no knowledge on it. I have been trying to stop them for so long. I, of course, have not been included. I've been very lonely until I met Siobhan and her friends. I just recently rematerialized, as I'm sure Siobhan has probably told you. While trying to stop them this time, an event happened, and unfortunately I was scattered. Was not present. So I'm not sure what happened with the children. The two others of Siobhan's friends, though, the dwarf and druid-like girl, what were their names, Siobhan?
Maeve and Dahlia.
Yes, them. They're following the old roads to the Giantkin to see if it is a repeat, if they are indeed taking the bodies there again. We haven't heard from them in several days now, though. I legitimately am clueless as to what has been going on.
Did you use a device or something for these rituals? Second question, do you think these people are in danger? It's, as you said, it's been a while since you've heard from them.
That is something we should address as well. How long ago did Maeve and Dahlia leave?
All valid questions. To my knowledge, they didn't use a device. They haven't in past years, and like I said, unfortunately, I wasn't able to spy on this one. I wasn't able to be here. I feel so terrible about it. I really do.
Don't. You did what you could. I will forever be grateful for that. And as far as Maeve and Dahlia, they were going to investigate a tribe of giants, so they knew the dangers going in. I am worried that it's been a few days since a check-in, but I trust them. Give them a day or two, and if we don't hear from them, then it'll be time to worry. But it is a long journey, and they left a few weeks ago, so...
So there's not much else you can offer in terms of information since you went there for the last ritual?
I can give you information on the Mistborn themselves, but to be honest with you, so much has changed. I'm more in the dark than I care to admit. So yeah, our best lead is where Maeve and Dahlia have taken off towards. That's why they're there. It's our best lead. I'm so sorry. I wish I could offer more.
Well, I suppose our next step is to visit the giant kin at the peak. With any luck, he'll be extremely agreeable and understanding to our case, give us the bodies and some warm drinks, and, worst case, he turns us into jerky.
I admire your gusto, but if you want to follow in their footsteps, you're more than welcome, but I guess, as he turns to you, Siobhan, I guess it would be good to have someone go check on them since we haven't heard from them. I know you trust them, but I'll be honest, I don't even know what the giant kin are like in this plane of existence, and I've been here for 1,200 years, and I haven't once been the one to interact with them, so are they rare?
Yes, what type of giant kin are at this peak?
Well, giantkin, there are several different types. Thalira, for example, is a giantkin. Goliath are giantkin, but she's very different from perhaps a frost giant or a stone giant. With this region, it could be one of a few. Stone giant, fog giant, Goliath, cloud giant.
It's a fantastic question. In fact, when Maeve and Dahlia check in, we can, maybe let you know then. Like I said, I haven't been cordial with my former family in a long time. Looking back, I probably should have thought to gather that sort of information.
Well, we can't change the past, but we can take our future back.
And we will.
Yes, well, point us in the right direction and we'll take it from here.
And your friends could need help as well, so I feel getting there sooner is definitely better.
If you want to catch up to Maeve and Dahlia, he turns to you, Siobhan, and just kind of pauses in a sentence.
I promise you they are both incredibly capable people. Just give them time. James, tell them your theory. Just stop beating around the bush, please.
Okay. So, here's the thing. Like I said, I can tell you more about the Mistborn themselves. Our connection is to the primordial plane. It's our original home. If this ritual was successful like we believe it was, that connection is completely broken. Now, if I knew the magistrate of our people like I did, he was not the most careful being. And this is more of an opinion, this is a feeling, it's not guaranteed information, but I'm betting that breaking our connection and freeing us had unintended consequences, which I think we all have confirmed at this point. Such as being teleported somewhere. Could be the primordial plane, could be somewhere on this plane, or maybe even somewhere unknown, but if the children aren't on that peak, then I'd venture to say that they aren't on this plane of existence anymore either. We can rule out your divine planes that Vicor had told us about, that would most likely leave only the primordial plane, maybe with the exception of some of the more unlikely ones he had mentioned.
Are you aware of the rifts forming at random between realms? As the random unraveling of reality at any given moment due to this ritual?
No. That's quite concerning.
And Yari just informed me of that in her last update. The ritual seems to have created a big problem, if it is the cause.
How do you suggest we go about this? Because right now, our goal is to retrieve the corpses from the children your people murdered and bring them back to their grieving families. And then we need to address the bigger issue.
Wait, the divine planes, as in the soul fields, like the gods' divine planes?
Yes. Vicor said that all of the current deities in the world something have a set of divine planes. I don't know too much about them, to be honest.
I wrote them down. Just one moment.
Yes, and to be honest, Maeve, I think your name was. I don't know how to go about this. This is why we've asked for help. But do you all have a way of maybe having a connection to the divine planes? Siobhan, did you find the list?
I did, yes. The Elder Dark, Celestia, the Abyss, the Primal Plane, Plane of Kaiju, and Wera. Those are the names that the university has for them, at least.
I have no connection to these planes. Do you, Yellen?
He kind of puts his hands over his face. Me, well, I guess I think I might, maybe. When I care for the dead, I send them to the soul fields, which is in the Underdark. And, if they need souls to complete rituals, then... Fuck me, that's a lot of souls.
Well, okay. Yellen, this is your domain. You can take lead. Siobhan, can you please message your team to retrieve what bodies they can?
I'll do that. Luckily, they aren't the kind to leave them there anyhow. Yellen, if you have this kind of connection, do you maybe know someone that has the power to feel out things in the realm to see if the Mistborn could be there?
Honestly, I'm not sure anymore.
Okay, if you could try. And, Siobhan looks away. She's suddenly distracted. How did you manage to do that? Hunker down, stay hidden, survive. Help is on the way. Don't you dare die on us now. Well, change of plans. They're fucked. They're trapped, surrounded by giants. Stone giants, by the way. They're unseen, at least.
Point us in the right direction.
All right, I've got a map in my cabin. I'll go make a copy, prep some materials for you, but we need to rush back. James, thank you. Keep me updated if you find anything.
I'm always happy to help. Yellen, think on it more if you could. I can tell something troubles you about the Divine Planes, but I don't know, maybe take the next few weeks of this hike to meditate and think some more. If you know someone or have a way of checking those planes, that could find some of the big answers we may need.
I will, think on it. But I think these people are in danger, so I'm gonna go. Hurry to that.
Yes, absolutely. It was nice meeting you all.
Good seeing you. We'll talk
Good
soon.
seeing you too as well, Siobhan. Absolutely. Maeve and Jellen, good luck. It's a frightful journey.
We will be fine.
Thank you for your help.
It's hard to tell any emotion body language wise because of the type of being he is, but at least based on his words and his tone, you can tell he truly is worried for you. But soon, and now with this new knowledge and especially this new message from Maeve and Dahlia, you all leave the village quickly, getting back to Orlanus as quickly as you can, which of course still takes a day or two, but after getting some more rest, waking up, you meet Siobhan in front of her house, as was discussed. Siobhan bringing extra water skins, 10 rations for each of you, giving all the gear that you're going to need now for this new leg of the journey, having rock climbing gear, rope, just anything you're going to need, as well as a scroll of sending. And she turns to both of you, but especially you, Yellen, before you leave.
The scroll? For an emergency if you need it. And Yellen, you said you guide souls to the soul fields?
Yes, I do.
You know of souls, their journeys, characteristics, the magics associated with them?
Yes, I do.
Good. When you get back, I'm going to need your help.
All right.
And when she says that, you see a flash of grief in her eyes. She can't hide that. And Maeve,
Yes.
don't eat it. It's for emergency to use on him. And she points to Yellen. I need him alive, and you're going to keep him alive. You seem quite capable and very headstrong. There's a tomato in here. It's experimental, but it should work. If he needs to get a quick escape, or something's going to kill him, throw it at him.
Okay. I do not make a habit of eating unknown food given to me in weird boxes, so I would like that on record. You should be safe for that.
Good. You need to throw it, not eat it.
Same thing applies. I tend to not throw food at myself either. He's perfectly capable of looking after himself, but if the time comes, I promise to keep him safe.
Thank you. My daughter's life may depend on him. Just keep that in mind. Either way, stay safe. Stone giants are nothing to underestimate.
Will do. Maeve smiles and awkwardly puts a hand on Siobhan's shoulder. It's kind of like she's seen other people console people before, and so she thinks that's how you're meant to like reassure people. So she just awkwardly pats her shoulder before walking away. And then she summons a different horse.
Yes, the first time we get the other
Yes.
horse.
The other horse.
Can you describe the horse that you summon?
So she summons a fiend horse, large red with red mane, just scarlet, pure scarlet horse with black eyes. Yellen?
Are we getting on this? This is quite the intimidating beast.
We are going to hang out with some giants, so I thought it was appropriate to have a scary ride, I guess. I haven't named her yet. I'm thinking Red.
I think that name fits very well.
Perfect. Well, it was lovely meeting you, Siobhan, and we'll see you shortly.
Siobhan looks back and nods, waves. Good luck. It was good meeting you. Thank you.
As you both mount Red, the new fiend horse, introduced from Maeve, you begin your journey on a new road on a southern path. And you look at the map given to you, and indeed you see the peak of the Albanian mountains in your sights. Now, given the instructions that Siobhan gave you, you managed to find your way there, only getting lost a couple times. You had a pretty close call as well, climbing up at the face of the mountain, probably your first time mountain climbing, like free climbing in this case. It takes you quite some time after it's another 2 weeks of grueling travel. But we join back up with both of you as you stare at the second cliff face in a row after just having finished a 150-foot free climb. You look down at the top of the low-lying clouds of the misty wood, now viewing them from the top. And then you look up to the clear, sparkly gray sky of Ae'oene, the volcanic ash permanently ingrained into its atmosphere, sparkling down at you. And you look up at a 200-foot cliff to try to get just that next step closer to the peak.
I do love the outdoors, but it's times like these I miss four walls and a roof.
If I'm honest, I've never been much for camping or climbing. But, you know, I can enjoy the beauty of where we are. Maeve, do you have much experience with climbs like this?
From a young age, my father ensured that I was prepared for every possible scenario life may throw. She grabs some ropes and starts tying it around her waist again.
It seems like a wise choice, seeing that you're now chasing a giant up a mountain.
This would have been child's play for someone like him.
Yellen he looks at the rope like he's a little kid in gym class, and he like pulls himself together a little bit. It can't be that bad. It's just a cliff. I could fall and die, but come on, Yellen, use your hands. And he kind of like jumps around, like does some like jazz hands, and he grabs the rope.
Maeve would grab his shoulders and just calm him down. I didn't say go yet. She hands him the rope to tie himself with as well.
Right. Yes, sorry. And he ties it around himself.
You all begin to climb up this even larger cliff face, taking your time, catching each other when needed. You both surprisingly seem to excel at this, even more so the second time around, almost as if Yellen here has gotten, some practice from these last ones, starting to catch on.
Yellen's a quick learner.
Indeed.
It's the fear. It boosts him up.
It's the fear.
Makes him go faster.
That's
Motivation.
exactly right. It's the fear. And soon enough, it speeds you up as well, despite all the nervousness here. You can feel the anxiety, almost like a level of excitement, especially for you, Maeve, knowing that you're excited for some action finally, especially given all the stress that this contract from the Adventurers Guild has given you. Soon enough, you make it to the top, both getting your eyes to peek just over the edge of this cliff face, to take in this environment, the peak of the Albanian mountainside. You can see that the top of this mountain doesn't actually come to a peak, surprisingly, where you were expecting maybe another cliff face. No, it is as if it is sheared off into a flat plateau, not able to be seen from below because of the level of clouds that blocks that view. What you also notice is a massive bonfire directly at the center, with 4 massive, gray-skinned stone giants appearing even 25 feet tall, sitting down. And you see a 5th one rising up. Not rising up from sitting, no, rising up as in walking upstairs from below ground level. As you can see, there's some sort of potential underground entrance. And deep within you, that excitement or anxiety, whatever it is to either of you, wells knowing the challenge that lies ahead of you on this mountaintop. And we'll pick up right there next time we join Maeve and Jellen. I just gotta say, what comes next is gonna be wild. So audience, I hope you're ready, because I know I'm on the edge of my seat.
I don't even know what's going on. I'll know slightly before you do. So I'm excited too.
We all play Jenga.
Yeah, we all play Jenga. That's right.
We play Jenga for the kids' bodies.
Oh my god, that's so dark.
Though by the time the mountain comes out, y'all have heard some really good stuff.
That is true. There will be some good stuff before the next one comes out. That is true. So, but either way, audience, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the World of Ae'oene Stories of Legend, the bonus episode, more of the 3-year gap stuff. We hope you guys enjoyed it, and we look forward to bringing you a next one. If you can, we would love it if you could leave a comment or a rating on whatever platform you're listening on to help us boost the algorithm and get us in front of more people, especially if you've been enjoying our stuff.
Tell us what you like, things that we can improve on. We love feedback.
Absolutely. More feedback, the better. We want to be able to put out the best show we can for all of you.
Yes, indeed.
But at the end of the day, we're going to be here. We're going to give you more, and we're going to see you next time. We would like to thank our cast, myself, Curtis Woosley, as the GM, MJ Guenther as Thalira Grimstone Ykalle, Sapheara as Maeve Strongheart, Rennie Armis as Calden, and Jack Baldwin as Jellen Ykalle. Additional thanks to Sentic GFX for our graphics, to MJ and Rennie here for our show editing, and our intro and outro music composed by Ryan Moons, owner-operator of Eyes on the Moon Studios.